Good afternoon, everyone. It's Hanifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I would like to start a few videos about the mind and how we can understand our minds just a little bit better. And then that helps us understand ourselves and then the world around us too. And when we do this, and you know this is the work that I work with most regularly, we do benefit ourselves first. And as we benefit ourselves, we are benefiting the world around us. Now, you know that I actually think very strongly about energy medicine, and everything that we think, speak, or do has an effect on ourselves and the world around us. So today I thought I'd start this series, and it's about understanding the mind. And I thought I'd start with this quotation by Buddha, and it says, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." Now, some of you know that I have had the pleasure of a 6-month training with Eckhart Tolle. And so you know that he focuses also very much on the power of now. And this is the same thinking. But I will say that all many traditions actually focus on this present moment, this power of now, this time of the present, of this present moment. And we all think that I'm in the present, and you know that anyone's mind at any moment has a million thoughts in it. So at least hundreds of thoughts. And we might be aware of what we're thinking, or we might be multitasking in our minds that I got to remember to do this, even though I'm doing this right now, I got to remember to do that later. And oh, this happened yesterday. So you notice how this past, present, and future kind of gets blurred, right? That it's like, oh, this happened yesterday. I got to speak to that person. And oh, today I got to finish this. And oh, tomorrow I got to do that, right? So most people are thinking this way. And when we think about the power of now, or this present moment, it's so interesting that I've been listening to some lectures that are definitely shaping my thinking about this too. And this power of now, or this moment, I will say that also, I guess the biggest thing that I'm learning, which I want to share with you, is this fact that the past is with us now, right? So we all know this, we kind of know this, but if we were to take some time to do some self reflection on this, we'll recognize that the present is kind of tainted by the past too. So let's say I've got a friend who did not behave very nice with me yesterday. And then today, when I see her in this moment, my mind is already filtering that experience from yesterday and applying it to today. And we call this learning. Some people will call it knowledge. And this will happen with whether we're learning facts and details about education or whether we're learning about our personal lives and it affects us psychologically. It still affects our present day. And to be mindfully aware of this moment is different than that moment. But we might also project it into the future, right? So we carry the future with us too, where we think that, oh, if I ever run into this person again, I just don't want to talk with them. Or I know what they're capable of, so I'm not going to speak well. What I would love to point out in this video today is the fact is that we need to work on ourselves. So most people have also been trained in this is what I do because they did that, right? Or because I know that about them, or because I'm wiser today. This is what I do because what I've learned, right? This is based on my experiences, my thoughts, my emotions, my perception, my judgment, all of that. And that affects this moment right now. And yet, what do we do with that information in terms of our own experience of our now? How do we change our own experience? And then that changes the entire experience, is what we do right now, right? So the next quotation I wanted to share with you is by Confucius, and it says, "Study the past if you would define the future." Study the past if you would define the future. And again, most people have moved into kind of a fear based thinking of, oh, that person hurt me, I've got to avoid that person. People do this with each other, people do this with colleagues at work, people will do this in their families, people will do this in terms of nations, right? So we know that that nation hasn't been nice to my nation and I don't trust them, right? So this lack of trust, this insecurity, this fear, these are the energies that are floating around and right from the individual to a worldwide experience. And unless we're consciously aware of how am I contributing to this? Am I looking at things with fresh eyes? Am I looking at things with optimism? Am I creating something that's better than yesterday? Because if I saw something yesterday and I keep thinking this might happen again today, I, just through the power of my thoughts, am going to help create that now. So then I see the same person and I've got all these thoughts in my head about, oh, I wasn't happy with them yesterday. And I'm not really happy with them today because I'm carrying yesterday with me today. And then I'm not going to speak so kindly with them tomorrow either. Now I am creating that experience from just the power of my thoughts. And today I'd love for you to sit for 5 minutes and think about, what do you carry with you? And what are you projecting into our shared future experience? Because enough people have been trained to fear other people, to not necessarily trust other people. And it's from actual experiences, right? They've actually gone through experiences. But this is how we isolate ourselves. We become more and more secluded about who we can trust, where we can trust, and who's worthy of our trust, and really we're worthy of our trust, right? We can be mindfully aware of how we are sharing our energies in this world. And believe me, from our thoughts, it does turn into our words, and it does certainly affect our actions and our experiences. And we have to, someone has to, take the responsibility of what I think, speak, do matters. And this is important because it's not just speaking the right words at the right time, because a lot of people have learned this too, but it's not with authenticity. It's not with compassion. It's not with love and integrity. And this is what I would love for you to focus on for the next 5 minutes. If there's something that you have been carrying with you, remember that I do work with grief recovery. So this is part of the work that I do in grief recovery too. But I want you to know that any of us can apply some of these ideas to our day-to-day lives. If there's something you're carrying with you towards a person anywhere, even if they're not in your home, if they're, living in a different country, it doesn't matter. If you are thinking something, even if it's because of the news that you watch, now you've created a judgment. It's been shaped by something else that has affected you. So whether it's the actual news program or the actual event, now you're also hearing feedback about that event, and you are speaking feedback in your own mind, and you're now going to have a judgmental energy. And this is really good to catch, because if we can stop ourselves in this, we will notice it will shape all experiences in our lives. So I'd love for you to do that for 5 minutes after this video, if you can understand what I'm trying to encourage you to think about or reflect on. And I wanted to finish with one more quotation. This one's by Mahatma Gandhi. And this quotation says, "The future depends on what we do in the present." The future depends on what we do in the present. And this is all of this put together, right? So a lot of people have had all these experiences, and because of those experiences, I can justify why I'm here right now. Now, as I justify this and relive those experiences and keep feeding those ideas and thoughts, I create my future. And remember, we are all doing this. So if we look at, wow, how many people say the world is just not looking good right now? There's so many things that are not good. How many people have thought that in the past, that things won't get better, right? Even when we look at things religiously, where people say, the end of the world will come, and how many cultures and traditions and predictions have we heard about this? And certainly we've heard about the destruction of our environment. We've heard about all of these things, and we talked about it and we contributed to it. Maybe not mindfully, maybe unconsciously, but we are contributing to the world that we are experiencing today. Today, I would love for you to think about that and reflect on it, and know that whatever you think, speak, and do makes a difference today. Have a beautiful day ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.